We have very active trade negotiating agenda, and in particular this year we have now started the FTA negotiations with Japan, and hopefully we will very soon also start negotiations with the United States. And the goal for these agreements, of course, these are our major trading partners, is indeed to find ways for new growth, to find growth and jobs in Europe, and also to unite now one of the two major trading partners in order to get to this goal together. I think we are all in a little bit same situation. We need to reinstate growth. We are in a crisis situation, and this type of opening new markets and finding ways to go forward together, I think would be very useful for all of us. It will help us all to get out of the crisis and reinstate growth, what we all very much need. The big challenges from an EU point of view, of course, the partners might have other views. For the Japan agreement, certainly is the non-tariff barriers. This was a big issue already in discussions with Japan before we started negotiations. And here, indeed, it's going to be very important for the successful continuation of the negotiations that Japan is able to address the non-tariff barriers that were identified in this scoping exercise and who are listed in the kind of documents that we were prepared. As we have this one-year review clause in our mandate, which basically makes us look into the situation after 1 year of starting negotiations and see what is the progress on this non-tariff barrier area. And indeed, if we come to the conclusion that the elimination of non-tariff barriers have not been sufficient, we will have to suspend the negotiation. So that will be, I think, the really important issue, and a kind of hopefully not going to be a roadblock. Hopefully we get over that, but it's very crucial for Japan. In the case of United States, the real challenge of negotiations, and also I think the main reward from these negotiations, if we get there, would be to be able to come to a regulatory approximation, both as regards existing norms and standards and rules, so that we can find ways to mutually recognize them, to get rid of the duplicative procedures that now our companies and businesses need to do on both markets. And then, of course, more importantly, that we are able to, that our regulators will find ways to work together, come together, and define new ways to make standards and regulations, conformity assessment procedures for the future. I think we welcome TPP. We consider that all trade liberalization is positive, because EU, we are the largest exporter in the world, and we are exporting all markets. So the more other markets liberalize, the more you enforce rules in other markets which are, bringing predictability for investment, for services, for businesses, by having rules, for example, on competition, state-owned enterprises, as I mentioned, services investment. This also will benefit our companies. So I think all trade liberalization is positive, and we very much welcome TPP, and we hope that it will succeed. We, of course, we will see. China is certainly looking very carefully what is coming out of this, and following very carefully how these initiatives will proceed, because obviously if they succeed, they will of course also have an impact on China and China's position in certain markets, and in particular in the standard setting area. I think it's quite important for China, and we will see. I can imagine that they are not completely enthusiastic about these initiatives, but of course we of course as also welcome China if they are ready to join them in the future. But we have understood that at the time being they will not be able to deliver the kind of high standard contents that is required both from TPP but also on our deep and comprehensive FTA agreements.